In today's video, guys, we shall be taking a look at the 2001 action movie, The Fast and the Furious, the first in the Fast and Furious franchise. So without further ado, let's get into today's review. Let's get into it. So I thought then that this movie was solid. I just loved it. I think it was a great solid movie and a great way to start off the Fast and Furious franchise in the best possible ways. It set it off in the best light. It gave us an idea of what to expect further down the line, whilst also not giving too much away what might be in the future movies. I think it delivered in that retrospect. However, I don't think many of us expected what we saw, and that was an undercover in a racing organisation trying to get into the inner circle. However, then actually being an undercover, he's enjoying being a racer. And you've always got that sneaky suspicion that either one, he's going to get caught, two, he's not going to get caught and he's going to put them away, or three, that he's actually going to join the racing group himself. In which is mad to say that an undercover is actually going to join them. In which I think he enjoys the buzz as he's invited into Dom's inner circle, in which is a big moment for Brian in this retrospect, and I think he was such a great character to follow. On Dom and Brian's relationship in this particular movie, I feel it builds from day one, as I feel at the start of the movie, Dom and Brian are completely different. They don't really care about each other. Brian's got something to prove to Dom, and Dom really doesn't care about him. He feels he's just another cocky racer that's going to go away. That's basically it. However, I think it was very interesting how the two square off, and I feel not in that retrospect that he earned his respect. I feel that Dom felt there was a little bit more in Brian than just a cocky racer. I think he felt that he is actually a racer, but obviously Dom beats him, and then the cops come in and surround the place, and Dom is left on his own when his car breaks down, and like a pal he is, Brian picks him up and immediately really gets introduced into the inner circle. No matter what happens after, or the things that happened before, he's now earned Dom's trust just by picking him up, because none of his other crew members had done that. They ditched him, they evaded the cops, and they went away. However, Brian came and picked him up and then helped take him to safety, in which was just a small moment, but really helped put Brian in a good position in the inner circle. And you felt that although Brian had a job to do, which was being undercover and to eventually probably arrest Dom, because he does find out about the high sea doors and he does do his own investigations without being noticed. I feel that with Brian, what we get is somebody that doesn't quite know whether he's a cop slash an FBI agent slash on the law enforcement side of things, or if he is a racer. And in this movie, we find out that in fact he's a racer, because there's several moments in the movie that just sway it, and you can see it clear as day that Brian was never gonna give Dom up, because the movie wasn't heading in that direction of Dom either getting under Brian's skin or Brian eventually turning on him. It was never gonna happen. And I think after the little races that they have, and after the trust is earned, he gets into the inner circle, there is some suspenseful moments, like when Dom sees Brian looking around at a few cars and a few items in this shed and whatever. I think then there's a bit of like a suspenseful moment where could Dom eventually find out Brian isn't who he thinks he is? But that doesn't come to be until the end of the movie, where Dom does find out who he is. And Dom gives him the opportunity to arrest him, really, after the crash. But then Brian just gives him keys to his car and says, here you go, drive away. And he sacrifices all his reputation as a law enforcement officer and his undercover work. And he knows he's going to go down, and people are going to be looking for him after what he's just gone and done. He's just let Dom drive away and from the high seas done. He's got away with all the crimes he's committed, really. And Brian just let him go free. And I think that just helps to elevate their relationship throughout the Fast franchise. This was the start, and to be fair, it was a good end as well for the movie. I feel it was something that we probably expected. Probably around halfway through the movie, you knew where the movie was heading. Moving on, I feel that the racing side of things was on point. I feel that that's the main selling point for the movie, innit? The races between the guys, and it starts off with the racing, which is always the best thing to do. And I think the first and second Fast and Furious movies help bring that racing side element up that the Fast and Furious franchise have gotten away from in recent times. They obviously have a little bit of a race here and there in the newer movies, but in the older ones, especially the first two and Tokyo Drift, I really feel that they tap into that racing sides of things. Finally, I thought the likes of Vin Diesel, Paul Walker, Michelle Rodriquez, Matt Schulze, Reggie Lee and Jordana Brewster were all exceptional in the Fast and Furious movie. To summarise the Fast and Furious, the first movie in the franchise, I think it does a great job at starting off the franchise, letting us in to see what the franchise is yet to become. Hence why I rate this movie a 7.9 out of 10 and a world-class film. So let me know down in the comments down below what your thoughts are. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it amazing? Is it terrible? Let me know down in the comments down below, please. Also, we have noticed not enough people have been smashing that subscribe button, so please do it now. Hit the like button, hit that notification bell, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Later.